Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariana and I'm happy to invite you on my April journey of cross stitch. If you've been watching my previous videos, you probably heard me mentioning that I have this urge to start maybe most of the new kits that arrive that I've ordered, and this is one of the new palettes that I'm going to be working with for a very long time. It isn't exactly cheery. It is primarily, I would say it's calm. But I don't mind. Sometimes working with such colors also can be quite meditative. And you're probably wondering what design these colors belong to. This is originally this kit is called An Indian Princess and a Royal Tiger by Luca-S. In my case, it is Chinese replica. But the story behind this design, this future process, is quite, I might say, complex and tangled, but maybe it isn't. Back in 2024, when this design came out, I knew that I'm gonna get it. And I did. I got it in Ukraine, and my parents-in-law brought it right by my birthday in September, and I was planning to start it. But then I pre-gridded the canvas. I made the chart because the kit came with the PDF pattern, so I had to convert it into Saga pattern. So I have prepared everything, pre-gridded the canvas, and the birthday came. I was set on starting it on the day of my birthday, but then I was quite busy because, you know, we've been celebrating and stuff, so I didn't start it on time. And then I put it aside, planning to start it someday soon. And as the time passed by, I haven't started it yet. And then one of my friends that I acquired here in Italy developed a taste for cross-stitching. I taught her cross-stitching, and we started with like smaller patterns. I had quite a few patterns, smaller ones that I brought with me from Ukraine, and I gave them to her, so she would like train. And then there was her birthday coming up, and she was over our place, and I was like, do you want to start something bigger? And she was like, yes. So I showed her all of my designs. I showed her all of my collection, and the only design she wanted, I mean, the first that she chosen, that she probably fell in love with, was this Indian Princess and Royal Tiger from Luca-S. And since I promised to give her, it was like a gift, since I promised to give her any design, any pattern that she wished for, so I gave it to her. I helped her start it. She started. She is progressing it bit by bit. But one of the main challenges of this pattern is its size. Originally it came on 16 count Ada, but I didn't want to stitch it on 16 count, especially on 16 count Chinese Ada, because it's not very pleasant to work with, and I didn't want to order another set of canvas especially for this design. I just wanted to have a kit to have it arrive and start at the moment it arrives. So I chose the 14 count Ada, and its size is 73 by 43. So maybe the 16th count is like 60 by 40 or something like that. So it is huge, not only in size in centimeters, it is also huge in stitches. Although it has only full stitch, Luca-S Well, maybe no, it probably has a bit of backstitch, because on the, you can see it on the tiger's muzzle. The whiskers will be probably, I don't know, I have the pattern, but I haven't quite investigated it yet. I mean the digital one. I just compared whether the colors, the numbers of the EMC floss coincide with the pattern that I have. They do. So yeah, and this design is 93 or 96,000 stitches. Remember before in March I showed you the pattern with iris flowers, and I told you that I'm not gonna start it because it's like 90,000 stitches, and I have quite a few larger pieces in my whips already. Well, discard that as you can imagine, as you can understand. So for a while this design, I saw it on Chinese marketplaces, I mean primarily AliExpress, and it always caught my attention, and I knew that I wanted to have it. I wanted to stitch it, I wanted to work with it. And then I was like, well, we're not getting any younger here, so why postpone something you can do? Something you can order at this moment. So I did. And today is the day that it arrived, and today is going to be the day that I'm gonna start it. I haven't brought the canvas because I just stitched it. I just washed it and pressed it. I was hoping that it's gonna get a bit softer. Maybe it did, but not by much. Well, anyway, I think I'll handle it. Well, as you work it, especially since it is a huge pattern, huge kit, it's going to be in my process for a while, so I guess it is going to soften on its own in the process. Usually, I would start from the bottom right corner, but this is not the case. I'm going to start from the middle. I'm going to start from her face. Not because it is the most interesting part, but because I want to make sure that it comes out nicely. I have quite a few kits from this brand, from Dahlia Cross Stitch, and I think that I haven't started any of them yet, so I don't know whether they are reliable in terms how the preview and how the outcome looks like. I know that I have also it's a replica by someone's painting. I don't know who. I know that I ordered the kit, and the kit is created according to a false design. It was like a designer pattern, and the designer let the wrong version leak. I know that. How do I know it? Because I bought an original one, and the colors do not coincide. The leaked version has like some off color patches, which would actually ruin the design. And this brand, they just copied the leaked pattern and created a kit. So don't know, I have my doubts here, and considering that this is a huge piece, maybe if I start from the bottom right corner and before I get to her, it's gonna be like maybe 35 if not 50% of the pattern of the design done, and I wouldn't want to stop at that point. I wouldn't want to have it thrown out at that point. So I'm going to start with her face. Surely I don't think, at least, that I will be able to finish it in one sitting in the course of a single decade. I probably will dedicate, I don't know, I'm not gonna promise anything how much time I will gonna dedicate to it, we'll see. But this is going to be my new start, and I can't wait to start it, and I can't wait to show the outcome to you, which you will see in a few seconds. And I'm back with some progress on originally Indian princess and a royal tiger from Luca-S, but in my case it is a Dahlia. Replica, copy, I don't know, take on. And this is how my process looks at this moment. I must tell you that as I said, I wanted to start from the middle because I needed to see how her face was coming up. There's little use of bringing her closer to the camera because it's best, all the features are best seen at the distance. Although I must say that I had a fair share of doubts when I started her. I think the middle is somewhere here in her chin. So I started building the face from this side up. And as you can see, maybe on camera the colors look a little darker than they actually are, but still they are darker than an average like Mirabilia complexion. And that's understandable because it's an Indian princess. Well, she's supposed to have a unique colored skin tone, but I was still having my doubts as to whether those who have made the copy messed something up, because I think I've never stitched a face with colors of the Floss like 435, 36. They aren't your regular usual choice for skin tone. So I was adamant that I wanted to finish her face no matter what it takes. But as you can see, I haven't actually succeeded with that task, primarily because the face takes around 2,500 stitches. And I've been working on this process for 3 days, which is quite a lot, and I've managed to stitch almost 1,800 stitches, and I'm at the point of almost 2% through the design, because I think I was confused whether the design was 93 or 96,000, and it is actually 96.5. Oh no, it's exactly 96,000 stitches. It's huge. So yeah, I didn't finish her face, but I did the most of it. When I finished her eye, almost finished the nose, the lips, I figured that she looks gorgeous. She looks how she's supposed to. Of course, as I said, a friend of mine is stitching an original version of that, and I think whenever both of us finish this pattern, we will compare, and I will probably show it to you. So far I'm satisfied with the outcome as far as it goes to this design. As for the canvas, I told you that I washed it. It didn't help. It is exceptionally rigid, and I had to use hair clips to hold it in place because it's impossible to work with if you're working with hoops. Maybe it would have been a lot easier if I had a frame for it, but I think I mentioned it some time ago that I don't have a frame holder, and I don't actually have many frames. I have like maybe almost 2 frames. One is a larger Q-snaps and the other is a wooden frame, but I don't like its quality. It's flimsy, and even if it was steadier, I don't have a place to put it onto. So I stitch in hoops, and the canvas, as I use the largest hoops I have. Probably after I finish my Madonna with grapes, I will put her into the Q-snaps that I have, but I don't know when that's gonna happen, so nothing for sure in this department. Just before I started filming, I've noticed that for some reason my markings started to melt. I assure you that it didn't look like this when I started this piece. It was like primarily like this. It was okay. But for some reason it started to melt away. The outlook doesn't bother me much, and I think that it will still wash away after I'm done with the piece. I think that's because of the humidity. We have very high humidity on the south of Italy. It's almost always about 80% humid in our house, and so that's probably the reason why it started to melt, even though it's the first time I've noticed something like that. What else? I wanted to draw your attention. I don't know how much use you will make out of it, but this kit came with the marker. Not actually, it's a pen that I use for gridding canvas, and I've been looking for this specific type of gridding pens for a while, because it comes with a thick tip. All the rest that I have, they come with a thin tip, and I know that many people who use them prefer them, but for me they slide between the lines, and then my gridding becomes lopsided, and it's easy to miss a row, and then all the gridding is ruined. What else? In defense of this canvas, I will tell you that, well, I cannot actually tell the CXC floss from cotton floss. I'm not that good of an expert in that department too, but the combination of this floss and this rigid canvas seems to be working out well. First of all, the floss doesn't rip in the process, and the stitches themselves come out pretty plump, and that kind of gives you that solid coverage that you seek, especially if it's a large huge design with a lot of areas that have darker spots. For instance, if you look at her eyes, I mean it isn't that noticeable, but the darker stitches are a bit see-through. I think that will change maybe after the whole design is finished, but even if it doesn't, it's okay. It doesn't bother me much, because you can still make out what the design is about. So you can certainly tell that it's her eye, not something else. So I don't know when it's gonna be the next time I'm gonna work on her, because it seems that I've had the juiciest part almost done, because I haven't finished the second eye, and now I'll have to grid it all the way to the bottom and then to the right, and I will be working with tiger's paws, and this, I don't know, is it a bed or whatever she's lying on, but slowly but surely I will finish it someday. All in all, I'm satisfied with the outcome, with the process. I like it, I wanted it, I have it, and I will continue and finish it someday. I don't know, maybe I've been showing you a smaller picture. This is how the design will look like. I love the clothing that she's wearing. I love the background. It seems like some, I don't know, goblins with some, carpets, tapestry with some ancient scenes depicted in it. I think it's worth the time and effort to be finished. Enough of starts for 1 decade, I think. I hope. Well, time will tell. So it's time to work on some routine routine whips, my decade whips. And one of them is Purring Summer from Yurkevitch. This is how my work looks at this point, and the point is 18%. Last time I was working on the rose bouquet with a few stitches here. Well, you can see the outline of the head of the cat. Sorry, didn't take my scissors with me I'm showing on my finger. So this time maybe I'm gonna move to the cat itself. I think I will rehoop. I will move the canvas, I will rehoop the pattern and work somewhere to the left. Could have moved from the bottom up, but there's nothing really interesting going on there. It's just the window, the window and curtains. So not the most interesting part. Well, surely I will have to do it anyway, anytime soon. Why I say soon? Because I have only 8,000 stitches left in this pattern. Hopefully I will progress it well during this decade too. Well, hopefully I will progress it. Let's leave it at that. So this is how my project looks in the beginning of the second decade. I mean, actually today is the 13th of April. This is how my project looks today, and we'll see how it's going to transform in a few seconds. Purring Summer from Yurkevitch. I am already over 1/4 of the design in this second decade of April, and I didn't want to unhoop because I think that there is nothing much you haven't seen, and actually you can pretty much make out the bouquet. I wanted to draw the attention to this beautiful cat. I didn't manage to make a lot of progress. I mean, it's 8%. I added over this decade, but it's only 800 stitches, and not for the lack of trying, I would say. This design, it looks incredibly simple and captivating, and I don't mind working with like this kind of a sort of a confetti, but for some reason I couldn't bring myself to add more than 800 stitches on this design. I think it's been 1 day. Yeah, no, it's been 2 days. 2 days. I've stitched only 800 stitches in 2 days in this pattern. I do not like this speed, but it is what it is. I don't quite remember. Maybe I didn't have enough time. Maybe I was busy with something, and also I had a cold during this second decade, and you can probably still hear it in my voice. It hasn't actually passed, but still, I don't know. There's something off with this design. It doesn't mean that I'm not gonna continue it, and it still has like 7.3 thousand remaining, so it can't go into my monthly rotation. I don't know, maybe, well, I'll dwell about it a bit later, maybe on how I plan to change my rotation from the next decade, and I'm gonna dwell on it in detail in the next video probably. So in this, there's nothing much to see. I don't know, it's such a small design, and for some reason it progresses so slowly. If you know, or maybe I've told you, but there are like matching seasonal patterns. There are like purring spring, purring autumn, purring winter, and there are also some designs at the seaside, New Year's designs, and I like them all in the picture, but I do not know if I will take next one into my processes after I finish this one. I have an autumn design from Joy Sunday. It's on a printed canvas, so I will probably most definitely have to finish that one. As for the rest of the series, not that I have all the patterns, but not sure if and when. So Purring Summer at this point is 26% through, and by the way, it's kind of reaching its 1 year milestone, because I started it last year on the 9th of July. It would be nice if I was able to finish it by that time, but I don't think that's likely. Overall, I'm satisfied how the design is turning out, but the process for some reason isn't as fast as I would hope it to be. Another regular in this decade is going to be Victorian Charm by Dimensions, but in my case it is Chinese replica. But as I've said it a million times before, it does not look, in my opinion, any worse than the original wood. I have worked on this whip in March, in the last decade of March, and at this point I am almost 52% through. I have 16.5 thousand stitches left till the end. Well, still it is quite a bit. Where I'm gonna go this time? I think I'm gonna, since I've been working here in the last decade, last time I was working on these windows, I think I will continue moving to the left. I will finish the third window and move here. What do we have here? Oh, it's like a tower-ish room part of the house. So I will probably focus somewhere here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be moving to the farther to the left. Maybe just in this area. I will try to progress this piece as evenly as I can. A lot has been said about this pattern, about this design so far, so I don't know what else to add other than we'll see how well it progresses this time. Victorian Charm from Dimensions, or in my case from some Chinese replica brand. Has progressed by not even 2% over this decade. I don't know if you can actually tell the difference where I've been working, because for the most part I've been working with backstitch, and I mean it grants you progress, but sometimes it's not that visible. It's like a quantifiable, not visible progress, if you know what I mean. Last time I didn't have this. I've started working on building the second floor of the house, so these like pinkish bricks weren't there before. I'll try to finish the third window. I've been filling it out with the yellow colors, and I think I added some structure in this light gray colors, and then I was just filling out the backstitch here, somewhere here, the outlines of the, I don't know if it's a small roof or maybe it's just a part of the building. I'm not an architect. Actually, I haven't progressed by much. I just was able to add 600 stitches yesterday. For a bit there, I was thinking maybe I should work on it today to add some more noticeable progress on this whip. But then I look at the calendar and I saw that today is the 22nd of April and it's high time to release my decades video. I've been off my precise decades for a while now. I don't know. This spring has been so hectic. So what else? I mean, 600 stitches is not that much to show, but I just wanted to show it anyway. I still have a wholesome finished object in this design. At this point, I am 53.5% through, but still have 16,000 stitches to go. I mean, it's not all of the full stitch. Full stitch is only 11,000 and the rest is back stitch and half stitch. So there's like 6,000 back stitch left. That's insane. That's almost what, 20%? Or am I getting it wrong? Almost 20% of the remaining 47 is backstitch. That's insane. So yeah, this is how my design looks up in the on the 22nd of April, but we are over 50%, which is great because the designs that hit that mark of 50% are more likely to be progressed and finished soon than those which are at the point of 10%, although that's not always true. Sometimes I just cannot get enough of a pattern and I just start and finish it in a relatively short span of time. Also, I will work on one more gorgeous piece by Luca-S, which is called The King of Flowers. For a second I just forgot. For some reason I thought it was Royal Peonies, but no, it's King of Flowers, but the peonies are truly royal looking in every regard, in terms of colors, in terms of how they are designed, and in terms of the overall composition. Last time I managed to progress this piece by 5%. It may not sound much, but considering that the whole pattern has 40,000 stitches, I added almost 2,000 and the progress is more than visible. I've been working here on this peony. I'm not sure which way I should go this time. Maybe I'm gonna go to the left, but that's not the most interesting part because it's gonna be the background, which is also quite colorful, but not as colorful as the peonies themselves. I could probably go up, continue going up. Maybe that would be a much better choice because it would be interesting to work with. Yeah, surely. I certainly am gonna go from on the right side from the bottom up. So I think I will work on this part of this coral peony. Actually, I've seen such peonies. They are select made. Select bred. I don't think that you can cultivate them in your own garden. I haven't tried, but I don't know. But I know that there was a birthday of my friend, and once I bought her a huge bouquet of those coral shaded peonies. They are exceptionally beautiful in real life as they are on the picture. So I think that this process is going to be pleasant to work with, because even though there are many colors, hold up, I will check because I don't have an original preview. 66 colors, but I think there aren't any blends. That's, in this case, it's a plus, because the pattern progresses very well. Like, for instance, it would take a color. I mean, that's not a good. Let's take another. Well, it isn't like probably very easy to work with. It is average with a hint of interest to it, because it may be quite boring to work with something like the background. I think this grayish background is going to be quite boring. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. It's like you have 600 stitches in the same color, just going back and forth. So the peony is going to be much more interesting to work with. So yeah, will I get the 20% point in this run? Who knows? We'll see. There isn't anything bad I can say about this gorgeous design from Luca-S, the King of Flowers. It is absolutely stunning, and I managed to progress it by, I think, almost 3% in this decade. I added a little bit over 1,200 stitches, and I think I would have added more if only I had more time. Like when you compare this one to, for instance, Purring Summer, there is also sometimes there is a mixture, or like small groups of stitches involved, and honestly, somewhere here, like you can see in this fuchsia colored stitches, there are only like 4 of them here, and then they start here. So I was thinking maybe I would leave a few empty spaces and blank spaces, and I would turn back to that and fill that area when I start working on this pink colored peony. But then I just wanted to see a wholesome progress, and I fill them in. So my point is that there is a fair share of, let's call them confetti, but at the same time, this process flies. Like I had 830 stitches done in one sitting in one day, and if I remind you that I did the same amount of stitches on the Purring Summer in the course of 2 days, which is, I mean, I think it says a lot. Maybe it depends on your current desire to work with the pattern. I've been thinking about this point lately a lot. Maybe it has something to do with my unwillingness to work with certain designs, even though the fortune wheel picks them up. Anyway, at this point, my King of Flowers is almost 18% through, yet still we have almost 33,000 stitches remaining. There is no finish inside, but I enjoy it. I don't mind it being a long-term whip, because every time I take it, I don't want to set it aside. And maybe if I had more time, if I didn't limit myself to some number of days that I have at my disposal to work with one process, the progress would have been even better. I think I will rework that area too, about how I spend my times on certain designs, because at this point in time it seems that my rotation is kind of a failing, and I think I need to come up with something else. What else? There's nothing much else that I can say. I didn't want to unhoop it. I just wanted to, because I wanted to draw your attention to the part that I was working with. It was this coral peony. I didn't touch this, but I was just finishing up this one. Speaking about peonies, last week that was the first time that I saw peonies being sold in Italy. We went to Milan. My husband had some stuff to do, and I was just accompanying him, and it was the first time that we saw peonies being sold in Italy. And it kind of, if only there wasn't such a long way ahead of us to go back home, I probably would have bought a bouquet, but I didn't want to buy one then just to throw it out a few hours after, because it was extremely hot in Milan. Last weekend it was over 25 degrees Celsius, which is quite steamy, especially after a lengthy winter in the south. So also on the subject of peonies, I have brought 2 bulbs from Ukraine. We planted them this year. They haven't bloomed yet, but one of them already has a teeny tiny bud, maybe like a fraction of this one, and probably the other one is budding already, but I haven't checked. So at least 2 flowers this year will bloom, hopefully, if nothing destroys them, because spring in the south of Italy is unpredictable. We never know when it's gonna snow, or maybe it's gonna hail. So just wanted to share. I'll probably take some pictures after they bloom and share them with you, because I do love peonies. Well, you can say about this about how much I talk about this design. So, King of Flowers by Luca-S. If you don't have it but you like it, I would certainly recommend you getting it, because you stitches well. It doesn't require much skill or effort. So yeah. One more whip that I plan to work on in this decade is going to be Wild Jungle Paradise. Finally, I memorized the correct name of this design. I always call it King of the Jungle. For a while, I thought that I haven't worked on it, that I didn't work with it in March, but then I checked my notes, and I progressed it by maybe 1% in the beginning of March. And at this point, I'm almost 17% through the pattern. there's a lot of work ahead of me because I still have 40,000 to go. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish it even next year, considering how it progresses. I mean, the pattern itself is simple, it's pleasant, the material is pleasant to work with. I do not know why I cannot progress it like by at least 2,000 in one go. Maybe at least by 1,000, because it's usually less than that, or maybe just a bit more than that. Hopefully this time I will finally manage to find the second corner of the design. This is the first one, and that's gonna be the second one. These sandy flowers, maybe. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna work with the butterfly, because I think that might not be true. This design is stitched on 16 count Ada, which has a printed background, and that's a very thoughtful decision by the brand, because the design has a lot of dark colors, and it may be more see-through if there is a white background than it is with a gray one. I think that I know that the moment this design came out, which was probably 5 years ago, the brand supplied those kits with white canvas, and then I don't know, maybe they listened to the feedback of the stitchers, or maybe there was another reason. Maybe they arrived at this decision themselves, I don't know, but they decided to change the original white canvas to this grayish one. And I think all the rest of their wildcat kits come supplied with this same-ish canvas. So I'm gonna be looking for the second corner this decade, and in a few seconds you'll see whether I managed to do that or not. Wild Jungle Paradise. How do you think? Did I find the second corner, or did I fail again? I'll give you a few seconds to think. Yes, I found the second corner. Although the progress isn't that impressive, but it's still there. I found the second corner. I've been working with the almost, I think I've finished. Yes, I finished this flower, because the rest is the leaves. I was so optimistic that I even thought that I might be able to work on the butterfly, but no, didn't happen. I was able to add 700 stitches. I know it's like 1.5%, but still, any progress is progress. Even 100 stitches is still progress, although not a very satisfactory one for me. I've been thinking why I cannot progress. I think there was never a point when I added more than 800-900 stitches on this pattern. Some designs that I have, I can progress them by 1,000, maybe 1,100-1,200 in a day. On this pattern, it never happened. It hasn't happened yet. Let's put it that way. And I mentioned it before. It's not that I don't like it. I truly like the design. I like the materials. I like the components. I like how the design is designed. It's logical. I I mean, you take a 1 meter floss and you can actually finish it without parking it. So it means the design is quite logical. But for some reason, I cannot progress it better. And then it occurred to me that maybe it's not this design's time. I think I've noticed it a couple times before with my whips. There is a design that I like very much, but then I cannot progress it. It just stalls for no obvious reason. And then I set it aside for some time, and then some time passes, and I just take it and finish it in like no time. Of course, that's not gonna happen with this one because this design is 48,000 stitches, and I'm only 18% through. But maybe there will be, I mean, I hope there will be a point in time when I will be able to make more noticeable and more satisfactory for me personally progress in this design. So I think I have two kind of ideas in my mind. First being that it isn't time for this design, and second that my rotation isn't quite as fulfilling or as fruitful as I thought it to be. And we'll have to test it, you know. It's like there's A/B testing in marketing. I think I will apply it to my cross stitching too. So yeah, while Jungle Paradise progressed by 700 stitches, reached the point of 18% by the 22nd of April. This is how my second decade of April looked like. Maybe it wasn't as productive in terms of progress, but it certainly was productive in terms of new starts. I wanted to start this piece for a while, and I'm glad that I had an opportunity. I don't know when I'm gonna finish it, and it doesn't matter. So I want to thank you for your attention. Want to thank you for your comments, likes, subscriptions. I truly appreciate your support. If it weren't for you, probably wouldn't manage to get this far with my cross stitching diary. Let's put it that way. I hope you find something interesting to see in my videos. So I will be wrapping up for this time, and we will see each other in the next video, hopefully with some next interesting processes. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. Share your thoughts and opinions. No matter, I don't mind some criticism, but structural. So yeah. See you later.